Did you know that one of D&D's most famous monsters is copyrighted? You can put a dragon in your game, a troll, or a vampire, but if you wanted to use a beholder, things get a little bit more complicated. That's because most fantasy monsters come from older myths, folklore, or shared public domains. They've been around for centuries. Anyone can use them. But beholders are different. They didn't come from mythology. They were created for Dungeons and Dragons. Back in the 1970s, D&D introduced a floating orb covered in eye stalks, each one firing different magical effects. It was strange, simple, and players loved it. Over time, the beholder became one of the most recognizable monsters in the entire game. And because it was created for D&D, it became one of the franchise's most protected creations. Because beholders are tied directly to Dungeons and Dragons, using them in other games usually requires permission or licensing. So most games do not copy them directly, instead they build their own versions. The same idea, just a different design. You'll still see echoes of it in other fantasy games, floating eyes, orb-like monsters, variants that clearly take inspiration, but rarely the real beholder. That is part of what makes it interesting. The beholder is not just a monster people recognize, it's an identity piece for Dungeons and Dragons, which is very rare in fantasy design, because in a genre full of dragons, trolls, and vampires, borrowed from shared mythology, D&D managed to create something that instantly signals where it's from. It's a monster that helped define what Dungeons and Dragons looks like.